Okay, I'm going to try this again. This is the second time. I'm going to do warm-up week 3. So remember, make sure you write this on your paper, put your name on it, class period. If your grade was below a 70, if you turn it into me on Tuesday, I will bring your grade up to a 70. So the first problem was number 1. It says 22 plus 10 plus 11. I always like to put my decimals behind any whole number so that I know how to line it up correctly. As I add this, 2 plus 0 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So my answer to this problem is 43. Number 2 says 18 minus 3 plus 14. Well, this has 2 operations in it, so I have to do one step at a time. So I'm going to line up my decimals. I'm going to do the 18 minus 3 first. I like to put my 0. So first I'm going to say 8 minus 3 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. So 18 minus 3 is 15. Then I'm going to add 15 plus the 14. And 5 plus 4 is 9. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer to number 2 is 29. Number 3 says 4 parentheses 3. Remember, parentheses means to add, or excuse me, to multiply. Multiply. So I'm going to do 4 times 3 first, which is 12. And I'm going to do 12 plus 37. Since I'm adding, I like to add my decimals so I don't make a mistake. Now I'm just going to add. 2 plus 7 is 9. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So my answer to this problem is 49. Number 4 says 120 divided by 10. So if I set this up correctly, it should be 120 is my dividend, 10 is my divisor. I always like to put my decimals so I don't forget. Then I'm going to do it step by step. Does 10 go into 1? The answer is no. Does 10 go into 12? The answer is yes, 1 time. Does 10 go into 20? Yes, 2 times. Ran out of room, but my answer to this problem is 12. Problem number 5. This is your fractions, 2/4 plus 4/4. So remember, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, you need the same denominator. That's your bottom number. My denominator is 4, so I keep that. I'm just going to add my numerators. 2 plus 4 is 6. So I do get 6/4 as an answer. That's improper. So I am going to divide. 4 will go into 6 1 time. And I write it clockwise, 1 and 2/4. Now, when you look at the 2/4, I can simplify that. I know that 2 will go into 2, and 2 will go into 4. So my answer, 2 goes into 2 1 time, 2 goes into 4 2 times. So my answer is 1.5. If you're not sure how I got that right there, I took the 2 and the 4, I put it in my sled, 2 goes into it, and that answer becomes my fraction right there, the simplified answer. Number 6, 5/6 minus 4/6. Again, it has the same denominator, so since I'm subtracting, I keep it, and I just subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. That's already in simplest form. My answer is 1/6. Number 7, it was 4/6 times 2/3. I do not need a common denominator. I can just multiply straight across. So I can say 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Now 8/18 is correct, but I still can simplify it. What would go into 8/18? 2 would go into both even. So I get, oops. So I'm going to get 4/9. Again, if you're not sure how I got that 8/18, remember your sled. What goes into 8 and 18? 2. I get 4/9. That right there is your 4/9 simplified. Number 8 says 4/10 divided by 2/6. This is your division, so you can do K, C, F. That means you keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. Take the reciprocal. Now, I like to simplify first, but you don't have to. So if you don't want to, you just multiply 4 times 6, which is 24. 10 times 2 is 20, where you get 24/20, which is improper, so I do have to divide it. 20 does not go into 2. 20 will go into 24 one time. And I go clockwise, so I get 1 and 4/20. I'm going to go to the next page for this one. 1 and 4/20, which is correct, but it's not simplified. So I want to look at that right there. So if you're not sure, put it in your sled. What goes into 4 and 20? Well, 2, because it's both even. What goes into 2 and 10? Again, 2, because it's both even. So I took out my greatest common factor. So 4/20 simplified is 1/5. So my answer is 1 and 1/5. Number 9, we actually did in class as your warm-up. As a problem in the book. I also showed the video. Mr. Banks makes 8 hamburger patties for 1 package of ground beef. He buys hamburger buns in packages of 6. Mr. Banks wants enough hamburgers and ground beef so at the same number. What is the least common number of hamburgers he can make? So I look at 6 and 8. What goes into it? 2, because they're both even. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. What goes into 4 and 3? 1. So I'm done. GCF is to the left. LCM is all of them. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 1 times 4 times 3. Well, 2 times 1 is 2. Times 4 is 8. Times 3 is 24. So the answer is 24, which is D. D. And number 10 is asking you what is the greatest common factor of 27 and 63. So as I do my sled, I notice I cannot use 2, but I can use 3. 3 goes into 27 9 times. 3 will go into 63 21 times. Then I got to look at what will go into 9 and 21. Again, I can't use 2, but I can use 3 again. 3 will go into 9 3 times. 3 will go into 21 7 times. So at this point, I'm done. Because the only thing that will go into 3 and 7 is 1. So GCF is to the left. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 1 to get 9 as my answer, which is C. Again, make sure you turn this into me on Tuesday.